Hey, good morning, seventh graders. How's it going today? Hope you guys are all having a fun weekend here. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you guys are ready to get back into things today. So today is going to be really easy, just like our last few Mondays. We're going to watch half of this video today, take some notes. Tomorrow you'll be doing some examples, and then you'll be working on an assignment. This week will go just like our previous couple weeks have. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always available via Google Hangouts. Appreciate seeing you guys here today. Without further ado, I think we're just going to get right into it today. One of our last things that we're going to learn about this year is the triangle sum theorem. Theorem means theory, right? You know all about theories according to your science classroom. A theory is something that we test, and then we test, and then we test to see if it's true. Math has rules that we are testing every single day. The triangle sum theorem is one of those rules. So let's begin here. How can the contractor know what measurement of the third angle should be before he measures it? A contractor works on a house. He buys small boards of wood to trim the outline of the triangular-shaped small roof over the door. So he's working right now on this. After the pieces are in place, the contractor measures the angles to make sure that the trim is at a perfect angle. The first angle measures 40 degrees and the second angle measures 70 degrees. So we want to figure out, so if we have the first angle measures a perfect 40 degrees, and the second angle measures a perfect 70 degrees, we're trying to figure out what this last angle measures. We are going to figure this out. We're going to do the math here. So in this concept, we are going to learn all about the sum of the angles of triangles. A triangle is a figure with three sides and three angles. We know that. Triangles have three sides and three angles. In a triangle, there is a relationship between the interior angles of the triangles. Interior angles are the inside of the triangles. So you can see right here, we have our interior angles. We have our first angle, our first triangle. What kind of triangle is that? That is an equal angular triangle. Our second triangle, what kind of triangle is that? It would be a right triangle because of the 90 degrees, right? If it's exactly 90 degrees on one of its angles, it's a right triangle. Our third triangle, C, what kind of triangle is this? There's no angle that's above 90 degrees, so this would be an acute triangle. And triangle D, what kind of triangle is this? We have 120 degrees, 35 degrees, and 25 degrees. The 120 degrees is above 90 degrees, so that would be an obtuse triangle. So notice that the triangles A, B, C, and D are all different. They have different angle measures. We know that. So we have some that have 60 degrees, some that have 70, some that have 90. They're all different. And they have different side lengths. But if we add up the measures of all of our three triangles, they will always equal 180 degrees. 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees, that equals 180. 45 plus 45, that equals 90. 90 plus 90 equals 180. 80 plus 70 equals 150. 150 plus 30 equals 180. 120 plus 25 equals 145. 145 plus 35 will equal 180. The interior angles of triangles will always add up to 180 degrees. You need to have this part. Actually, you know what? Let's just do something even bigger. You need to have this copied. So pause the video now and copy that specific part. Now let's look at the triangles a little differently after you have this copied. In geometry, a triangle can be formed by the intersection of three lines, right? So right here, we have three different lines. 1, 2, 3. First, notice that the lines create three interior angles of the triangle. So we have one triangle, right? Or one angle, and one angle, right? Next, notice that if you extend any side of the triangle, then it stretches beyond the triangle. It creates a pair of angles, an interior angle and an exterior angle. So if we stretch this line right here, right, it goes beyond the triangle. We would have an angle right here and one right here. Those have to add up to 180 degrees. So here's another example of an exterior angle right here, right? So we have a triangle right here, but we also have two angles. We have a 120 degree angle and an angle that has x degrees. The x degrees is inside of the triangle. We know that triangles have to add up to 150 or 180 degrees, right? So we know two of the angles, one is 50 and one is 70. So let's borrow here. 18 minus 5 is 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. Zeros, so 60 degrees, right? That side has to equal 60 degrees. But this angle also has to correspond. It has to correspond with its supplementary angle. Remember, supplementary angles have to add up to what degree? Look in your notes. They have to add up to 180 degrees, just like our triangles do. So I'm going to clear this page here. An adjacent angle to the interior angle is 120 degrees. Is 120 degrees. Use the relationship between interior angles to set up an equation and the measure of x. That's what we did. We found the missing measure of the interior angle is 60 degrees. There is another way to calculate the value of the missing triangle. Take a look at the angles in the triangle. We know we have 50 degrees and 70 degrees, and we found the missing part with the 60 degrees. We did that math, my friends. What I want you guys to do is I want you to go through and read this textbook page. Make sure that you have your notes written down so we can rock and roll tomorrow. There's some extra help posted in the Google Classroom if you need it. But besides that, make sure you have your notes done, glance through the page once or twice, and you guys will be ready to go. I hope you guys have a great day. Pause the video now and come back tomorrow. All right, guys, let's rock and roll here. So earlier, yesterday, remember we were talking about the triangle sum theorem. All angles in the triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. That is our triangle sum theorem, okay? All interior angles of a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to be using that as we go through here today. So let's look at example 1. Earlier, we were given a problem about a contractor and the triangle-shaped trim. Remember, he was making a house, so it had, above the door, it had a little thing, right? And a little awning. So we found out that the first angle right here was 70 degrees. Second angle was 40 degrees. We need to figure out what this angle is right there, right? So we know that all triangles have to add up to 180 degrees, right? They all have to add up to 180 degrees. So let's find how many more degrees we need to make a triangle. So we have 40 plus 70. So what's 70 plus 40? 70 plus 40 equals 110, right? So we need to find out the difference between 180, because triangles have to add up to 180, and 110. What's the difference? 0, 7, 0. It would be 70 degrees. That is the difference between the two, because all three of our triangles have to add up to 180, or all three of our angles inside of a triangle. So we have 70 plus 70 equals 140, plus 40 equals 180 degrees. Let's look at example 2, my friends. We need to figure out the measure of angle S. Find the measure of angle S. This one's a little more complicated. We're not trying to find what angle this angle is right there. We're trying to figure out for S. Now, that being said, we are going to need to figure out what this angle is, right? Because we know that there is supplementary pair. So let's figure out, all triangles add up to 180, right? So what's 30 plus 35? 65. And what's the difference between 65 and 180? borrow 115 degrees. So that equals 115 degrees. Now, my friends, we are trying to figure out for S though, right? So what is the difference between 180 degrees and 115? Borrow. It is 65 degrees. Do you notice how these two numbers are the same? Interesting how that works, right? Again, there is a link on Google Classroom for some extra help if you need another video to help walk you through that. So the sum of two angles in a triangle is 50 degrees. What is the measure of the third angle? So we know the sum of the two angles in a triangle is 150 degrees. We need to figure out what we need to add, what our third angle needs to be to make it a full 180. So what's 180 minus 150? 30 degrees. That one was easy peasy lemon squeezy, wasn't it? All right, example 4. The sum of two angles in a triangle is 75 degrees. What is the measure of the third angle's exterior angle? So we have right here a triangle. So these two angles right here, they add up to 75 degrees. We're trying to figure out this angle, X, and then angle Y. So what's the difference? Because we need to figure out for X, and we know that those two angles right here and right here add up to 180 degrees. So 180 minus 75 would get us 105 degrees right here. It's an obtuse triangle, right? So we need to figure out, if we know that this is 105 and this is a supplementary pair, 180 minus 105 get us 75. Do you notice how the sum of two of our angles would add up to the angle outside, the exterior angle outside of our triangle? Interesting how that works, isn't it? That is part of the triangle sum theorem. So a triangle has three angles. So let's draw out our triangle. Triangle, angle A, angle B, and angle C. Angle A equals 33 degrees. Angle B equals 65 degrees. What is the measure of angle C? Okay, we're trying to figure out the angle of a triangle, right? So that's an interior angle. So we need to add 33 and 65. 33 plus 65. That equals 98 degrees. So now we need to figure out the difference between 180 minus 98. Borrow 2. So the difference between 17 and 9 is 8. So our angle right here has to equal 82. So when we add these three up, we equal 180 degrees. Now, my friends, this was a more complicated topic, and I know videos are hard to learn math through. If you have any questions, please contact me via Google Classroom. You guys have a short form on Google Forms to fill out on Google. Well, sorry, it's on Google. It's on your classroom. And let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm very proud of you guys, and I hope to talk to you all very, very soon.